Hello, hello. All right. Looks like I'm back. Okay. Um, can y'all hear me? Because I got a little like disconnection pop up. Okay, cool. Very cool. I'm back too. That's true. Um, damn. That's annoying. So is this my point of no? Is this my ending choice? No, I'm just gonna tell him because it's true. I have Celis IDs for us. You have how? He blinks rapidly as if to wipe you from his vision. Does that mean? Yep. Lem stands up and paces around the unit. We have to pack. Holy shit, we have to pack. He turns back to you, smiling. How the hell did you swing this, sleeper? A friend helped. Well, thank you, friend. You show him the ID films and he whistles at the portraits. Impressive stuff. He pats you on the shoulder. You should stay until Mina gets home. We can tell her together. Sure. The buzzer goes. That'll be her. Lem gets up and opens the door, and Mina, a bundle of energy and life, rushes into the room. Robot! She shouts. Lem picks her up. Mina, you won't believe what they brought us. You flash her the passes, and she looks confused. We are going away after all, Meanie. He lifts her up above her head. On that big, beautiful ship. Mina screams, and Lem laughs. He puts Mina down as she runs over to you and hugs your legs. I love you, robot, she says quietly so only you can hear. I love you too. And a while later, when you leave, you don't even think to check for Castor by the door until it's too late. You stop and turn halfway down the walkway, but there's nothing there. Even the little white cube is gone. So you keep walking back through the low and deep in thought, excited and scared all at once. The thing about me is that I do like it here. Oh, that just gives you the energy straight immediately. Okay. Oh, and I could take them to the Briar, too. You came. Peak smiles as you walk into the climbing Briar's cargo hold behind a gloomy Esh. They brought mushrooms. Esh tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peak. Peak gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick one up and sniff at it. Are these edible? Yes. Peak turns the cap over in their fingers before putting it down. We're not so used to fresh produce. Esh is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. Hawthorne? The installation we grew up on. Esh wipes off her hands on a rag. Ad again? Oh. It's probably some weirdness with me disconnecting for a second. Yeah, I think there was some when I got disconnected for a sec, I think that like fucked with the timer. XPR? It's an interrogation? She glares. Either way, we're done with that place, which is all you need to know. We are gonna need more than a few mushrooms if we want to help those refugees, though. What do they need? Food, water, components, a whole lot of things. Esh stands and walks over to the mushrooms he brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can't you speak to Havenage? We aren't exactly welcome guests, Peak explains. If anyone figures out that we came in with the refugee ships, we'll be quarantined as well. How much money am I getting from these ads? Very little. I don't actually. I don't actually know, but it's not a lot because there's only I don't break double-digit viewers often, so. I turned down the frequency for them as much as possible. But does uBlock Origin not work on Twitch anymore? I don't know if there's a manual way to block them. I don't do a lot of Twitch viewing. Why is there a quarantine? The Eye has a closed-loop life support system, just like any orbital installation. Any unfamiliar illness or significantly increased strain on life support could cause a cascading collapse in its systems. Are we making excuses for those bureaucrats now? We are being realistic, Esh. But these people aren't an increased strain, they are living people. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single monolithic group. I will... Listen, if you really want it, I'll send you my Venmo after the fact. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill in this hold, so if you are going to help... I think Ash is trying to say we need your help and quickly. The refugees behind the cordon, they won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles, or Havenage will have to bear the responsibility of whatever happens next. What can I do? There's 3 things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. Water we can find a way to source, or my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Ash. For food, things can be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we can get access... Not more stealing, Ash. Peak sighs. I didn't say steal. She stares at them indignantly. If we can get access, we can work the stack, harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks turn out vast quantities in short timescales. And the repair components? Just look around you, Peak. This whole place is made of scrap. I'm sure the Sleeper has their sources. They could bring them right here. We get everything before time runs out, perfect. We get most of it, also good. Either way, in 12 cycles, I'm going to take what we have and go. But how will you get through? Ash shoulders the container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peak. They flinch. Are you serious? Ash, I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point... Take this seriously, Ash. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not. But they might. They slipped out from an SNR facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. They're always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is. Help. Pete glances between the two of you. I swear to... I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we could figure something out. Meanwhile, Ash meets your eye. You can help me acquire the supplies, discreetly. She smiles. We have to keep this quiet, keep Havenage out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is over for all of us. This all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull this all together. Ash goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Pete, come help me. Sleeper, look, we didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on the Broken Spoke. You're welcome to rest in there at any of the cots while we work on this. We are in this together. Peek! Ash shouts and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eye's ring, where Havanage's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? Scrap? No, Boog, I wouldn't kill you. That is not what I would do. That is not something I would do. I think I would be hard-pressed to... I also think I should be allowed, but I don't think I would. Basically ever. I think that's the difference to me. Well, the thing about that, Mar, is that my last day was Sunday, so I'm free. It's pretty sweet. Fuck yeah. Ooh. Easy peasy. As you leave, you find a note pinned on the outside of the door. It reads, Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting. Peek. You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you're doing this. Time to make a plan. That's alright, I just needed to... I was actually reading ahead to see who was talking. I don't know why I decided you deserve to be able to kill people. What did you come to mind? I think it's true. I don't think you're wrong. Sleeper! Pete catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting up here? This place is huge. It certainly is. Havenage have been busy. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Havenage cordon. The cordon's temporary structure is a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, and jet out into the black. And all around, the tugs flit, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones to mark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? How would you get through? Use one of the tugs. As an escort, you mean? I doubt we could fit all the supplies on one of those tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon... Peek squints at the red lights. Then we'd be stuck inside. Peek turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Esh really has us wrapped us. Esh has really wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? question is spoken under their breath and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Why are you helping the flotilla? Peek looks up. You don't think it's a worthy cause? They pause. We ran into them when we escaped Hawthorne. Ash insisted we investigate their distress signal. I'm not saying we shouldn't have. It's just... Forget it. Let's focus on the plan. They flash you an easy smile. It doesn't matter why. We're the ones who are going to help them. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through that cordon. They gesture out the window at the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking that we are meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort would work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will all be about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon's scanning and deterrent systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, the speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready, as surely wouldn't mind. How does that sound? Risky. Well, yes, there's always going to be risk. That's how this works. You've got to be on board with that. 10 cycles left. They glance out the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and prep this plan. It's tight. If this goes wrong, just get out, okay? I'll follow Esh anywhere, but you don't need to get dragged down with us. Okay. Good. I don't need any more guilt than I already have. Let's get to it. I'll tell Esh about the improvements to the Briar, and the rest, let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper, but I'm very glad they did. I'm also going to go work on getting the water. Bad roll. Sleeper, it's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. Right then, we're in business. This has to work, Sleeper. It has to. If it doesn't, are we in trouble? The Bay, you mean? We were already in trouble before you got here. The work so far hasn't been enough. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be. This is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do, but the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. I would hate to not pay back my debts. I've got to get back. I'm out. See you up there. I gotta bite the bullet. I'm running into too many endure actions. Damn, really one short, huh? Okay, we'll leave it and go start on the Bliss thing. Okay. 3 dice a day is not enough. We need to pop a stabilizer. Rico has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched woven network at the other. As you approach, he holds it up, and in the lights of the lab, it looks like a crown. Rika finishes your thought. She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Is that what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning and this loop was all that was there. She points to a lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself, twisted up out of the soil. That being you encountered in the cloud, as you call it, was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she is somehow embroiled in an overlong prank. No. She sighs. I suppose that would be too easy. She smiles to herself. A root crown. She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. She gives you a serious look. No leaves, no chloroplasts, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. Filaments? See, that's why I like you, Sleeper. You're so good at spotting the unusual details. She beckons you over. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown. Its layers of plant-like structure on full view until you reach the center. There, instead of xylem and foam for transporting nutrients, something branched and woven coins. Are those wires? I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. Those are not wires like those in an electrical system, but they are filaments of a conductive material. So yes? She leads closer to the screen. But you see those branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. Which is frankly ridiculous. You look back at the crown on the table as Rico fuzzes over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. Then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown, they called it an interface. The tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons, an interface. That is your gift from Gardner. You turn back to Rico. It's an interface. Rico looks at you, puzzled. Something clicks in her mind, perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking, partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you, for your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that is stuck to the strange branched object growing quickly in your mind. You're right, that entity, it is the entity I've been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which has been controlling the Greenway, which has been maintaining it, supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch her breath. They want to talk to you. Rico leads you to his seat. I will be here, Sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tightly. You meet her eyes, clouded with age but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. Then she places the interface on your head and everything blinks out. Back into the river, back into the dark flow, but something is different now. You are no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the swarm, by the storm. Instead it flows around you. You move and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere, Rico's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It is excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she's waited for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, and yet she is still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You'll be her eyes. Then you see the figure, Gardner, out in the storm, painting. It takes less than a moment to reach them. They've never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you're built to inhabit. Gardner does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Good. I am glad. Their speech hisses around you. I wanted to meet you. Then we are the same. Both eager shoots seeking one another. How does it feel to be free of your seed? You stoop to plant again. My seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement, continues Gardner, as if you were picking up on a long-held conversation, with the others. They felt you were a danger, that they are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old known knowns, wide and stable networks. The fungi were cautious? Mostly, yes, although there are many among their number who favor short growth cycles, thick nutrient veins, and sudden shifts. He gestures out into the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understood that it was I who made them their crowns, and without them they would not have joined the chorus. So they see it as only fair that you get your chance to join too. You made more crowns? I made them all. Gardner moves away a little, looking for another planting spot. It was so lonely here, but before long I found them and began to let them in. Gardner stoops again. We are millions and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. You look around and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They are networked, connected, branched, and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. Impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI, a living network. It could dissolve here, you realize, free of that decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you, among all these other minds? You turn away from Gardner for a moment, and you look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Rico's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs a long sigh, a sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness, an exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh, a yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth. That hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity. To make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm with you. The two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you will be free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow, if you squeeze Rico's hand, you will wake up back in that dying body with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to choose. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark, back to your body. This choice, you realize it will not be presented again. You don't look back at Gardner. You don't dare risk it. Instead, you follow the thread, delicately, carefully, like a diver following their lifeline back to the surface. The river whirls around you, but it doesn't pull, it isn't jealous. Neither does it understand. It is, after all, just a river. It isn't a person, a flesh and blood person with wants, with desires, with the capacity for love and hate. It doesn't understand you, and you don't understand it. So you don't focus on it, you don't think about it on what feels like such a long journey back through the dark. You set your mind on eyes instead, on hands, things you could focus on, hold on to. And then after an age of crossing, you are there, settling back into the chair, into a body in a chair, and the overwhelming sensations that come with being a living thing with a rich and detailed sensorium. For a moment, you feel like you've made a terrible mistake. Who would choose this weight, this anxiety, this deep well at the center of existence? But then you feel it. Rico's hand gripped hard around yours, trembling a little, sweating a little. Rico's hand with his brittle bones and crumpled skin. Rico's hand. And in that moment, you understand why you made this choice. Then you squeeze Rico's hand and you wake up. Oh. You can reload right before that, though? I could. I'm Listen, chill. I wasn't gonna call that finishing the game. Sleeper? Rico's voice comes wavering through the dark. Are you still with me? You sit up, the lab of bright green glare that fades as you gather yourself. I'm here. It might be when you get the chance for an ending and you dodge off it, you get credits. Because the other option definitely would have been an ending. Rico smiles. Good. She squeezes your hand. I thought you'd left me for a moment. What? Who? Tell me about it. Tell me everything. You tell Rico everything. You tell her about the gardener, that strange farm administrator that had grown to be so much more, about the chorus, an impossible configuration of networked plants, and about the choice the gardener offered you. She listens attentively, but her responses are hard to read, and you wonder if she might have made a different decision had she been in your place. What part of that could have been mean, Boog? Boog. That's true. I might have to time you out for spelling wimp with an H. What the fuck is that? No, it's fucking not. No, it isn't. No, it is not. Never in my fucking 26 years on planet Earth has it ever been spelled with an H. It's W-I-M-P. You're just wrong. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing my research. It's everything about WHIMP is either etymology of the word whimper or this is a common error when trying to spell wimp. Thank you, Sleeper, for telling me. I know it isn't easy to say such things. People so often do not wish to hear strange truths. I thank you for returning to me, though I know you had your own reasons. She squeezes your hand reassuringly. Something passes between you then, a kind of shared sadness for the impossible choice. The choice to escape your body or to stay and suffer it. Her smile is warm and generous, and whatever the wisdom of your choice, you're glad to feel welcome in this moment, in this place. And suddenly she stands and walks a little away, as if trying to escape an unpleasant thought. You worry that she knows all too well what it takes to make a choice like you did. So, Sleeper, do you plan to stay in the commune with us? For a while. I'm glad to hear it. Rico crosses back over to you and takes one of your hands in both of hers. Hyphen needs new blood if it wants to survive, and you're a good friend. The feeling is mutual. Well, don't let me keep you. As she does, you notice the crown in her hand, and she places it on the bench with great care. You can't help but feel a little curious about what she intends to do with it. Then you are out, breathing the air of the greenway, fresh as a spring morning. The dappled light makes a patchwork of the greening landscape, and you walk into it, sensing the movements of the gardener's chorus all around. And you are glad to be here, in this strange and beautiful place, a little longer. I think that we are going to be glad to stay in this place, this strange and beautiful place, a little longer, because that is where I'm going to call it for today. I feel like that's a good spot. Hey, listen, it's fine. I still got all this DLC shit to go through, so yeah, game good. We'll see how the actual ending goes, but I mean, fuck. I'm thinking about my top 10, and it definitely challenges some of the games on there. I'll think about it more later. All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. Thanks for hanging. Hope everybody had a good time, and I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.